This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian.
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
This is Uncle Money, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., and it is a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with Uncle Money. How are you?
Hey, thank you for having me. How are you doing today?
I'm good. And can you tell us where Uncle Money is collecting the money event-wise?
You know, Uncle Money, he's collecting the money from China, all the way in China. That's where I'm collecting all the money, taking it from everybody. So I take USD, now I'm taking renminbi.
Okay. And can you tell us where we can find you on social media and your merchandise?
Yes, so you can find me on Instagram at _Uncle Money. I have a couple YouTube channels. They're not really wrestling related. One is called Black Beyond Borders. I live in China, so I have a YouTube channel that talks about my life in China. I do have wrestling in the YouTube channel because, you know, I'm a wrestler in China, so check that out. It's called Black Beyond Borders. I also have another podcast with my family. It's called Generations Unveiled Family Chronicles. It's a podcast where I interview members of my family. You know, so far I've done my mom and my dad, and I have a big family that I'll be interviewing multiple people. So it's called Generations Unveiled Family Chronicles. Check that out. And I have another podcast called Functions Podcast. This is the podcast with my friend and I. We just sit and ramble about a bunch of BS. And last podcast is called The Rundown. It's like a sports podcast, similar to Nightcap with Unc and Ocho. It's very similar to that style. So that's what I got.
Okay. And merchandise?
I do not have, I'm in the process of getting new merchandise. So right now I don't have active merchandise. I have merchandise, but like mostly I sell it in China because of the suppliers. The suppliers I have are in China and they deliver within China. So if you are in China, you can tap in with me and I can get you that merchandise. Just because the suppliers are in China, it's just much easier for me. Okay,
I got you. All right, and you don't have to go looking. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox. All right, let's get into it. You work for Middle Kingdom Wrestling. Can you tell us about your relationship with that company?
Yeah, so when I first moved to China back in 2017, I met one of my friends, Big Sam, who's also my tag team partner. He was wrestling for Middle Kingdom Wrestling, and when I told him I'm a wrestler, he put me in contact with Middle Kingdom Wrestling, and I was able to get in contact with Middle Kingdom Wrestling, and from there on out, I started working with MKW, and I've been working with them since 2017. They were the very first wrestling promotion that I worked with in China. And, you know, I've had a great relationship with them. It's been, you know, since 2017. So I've had a great relationship with them. We just had a match, a big event last week.
And you mentioned, you know, Big Sam was the one that got you in. Was it serendipitous or intentional that you actually are a tag team now?
It was more intentional. So I met him through LinkedIn because I was when I was moving to China, I was trying to see if there was wrestling in China, and I saw an article on LinkedIn. So I sent him a message on LinkedIn, and then he got back with me, and we talked and stayed in contact. And then when I moved to China, we finally met up, and it was me, ASUKA, and Chairman Al. We had like this event we met up with, and then there was the talks of the four of us joining forces to create a group. I didn't know what the heck was going on at the time. I was just going with the flow. I just got here. I'm like a couple months in China. I didn't know what was going on, so I'm just, riding along. But they had the idea of starting a group, and we ended up making a promo, and then that's how the stable was born in 2017.
And can you tell us about your relationship with the other members of the stable, Chairman Al, Big Sam, Ash Silva, and Queen Marie?
So those are, I would say outside of wrestling, those are like my closest friends in real life. I spend a lot of time with Sam and Ash. Ash and I, we used to live in the same city, but I moved about a year and a half ago. But when I was in the same city, we would always hang out. Sam, whenever we link up, we're always together. Same with Chairman Al. He doesn't live too far. Queen Marie, she lives a bit far. She currently lives in Shanghai. But I've gone up there to Shanghai like about last year to go visit her. But in real life, we're like actually like all close. It's not even like really a gimmick. We're all good friends. So the fact that we're all a team, it just makes the chemistry a lot better. But those are all like close friends. I think I have Sam and Ash as my emergency contact list. So yeah.
Well, we know who's the more reliable of the Now, that being said, what's a pet peeve about all of them that you just don't understand?
A pet peeve. All right, I'm gonna start with Marie. Me and Marie, we've always argued because there are two things she hates. She hates men that play video games.
Okay.
And I play video games. Now, I'm not some guy that sits around eating Cheetos all day. I have a life. I have a life, okay? But yeah, she hates that. And we always argue about that. Like, she's like, I never date a guy that does that. Like, I wouldn't date a girl that won't rock with me if I play video games. That's bull crap. So we argue about that. It's just good fun. And then I wear compression boxer briefs because the long compression boxer briefs. They gotta keep my junk in tight, and they keep me from having a wedgie. And she thinks those are grandpa pants, and she thinks those are unattractive. I'm like, Marie, shut up. Yeah. So with Ash. Me and Ash, we argue all the time. Good, because we always disagree. We disagree on everything. You always gotta have a friend that you gotta argue with. We always argue, not like serious argue, but disagree. And like last week, we were arguing about the NBA. Because he said the reason Jaylen Brown crossed up Luka Doncic was because of the rule change and no hand check. And we just got into an argument about that. Like, no. It's not the reason, Ash. So we just argue about simple things. Chairman Al, I don't think I have a pet peeve with Chairman Al. I don't think so. I can't find nothing. And with Sam, I don't think I can. I can tell you a thing people may not like about Sam is that he's very honest and brutal. Like he's extremely blunt and honest, and people take it the wrong way. Personally, I like that. Like if I do something bad, he'll let me know it sucks. He won't hesitate. If it's good, he'll let me know. That rubs people off the wrong way, especially here in China when everyone is about saving face. So that rubs people off the wrong way. Doesn't rub me off the wrong way. So I appreciate that. If I suck, you can tell me. I don't care. I need to know. So yeah.
Okay. Now, more recently, you were in a 6-man tag,
Eight
against,
man, eight man.
8-man?
Yeah.
I was referring to the match with Ho Lun, Yoshi Tatsu,
Oh,
and Zombie
oh
Dragon.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Obviously, two of those names were in WWE. So, what was the experience like being in the ring with two, credible and respected names?
Well, I got some bragging rights so I can tell my friends, hey, I wrestle with two WWE guys for one. But it's a great experience because you learn from those guys. Those guys were in the highest level of professional wrestling that there can be. So you learn, and it being say I'm rubbing, I'm rubbing elbows with guys that were at the highest level in the promotion. So it's really special.
Were you talking to them afterwards about the match?
We were talking about the match a little bit after the match. I was talking with Yoshi about the match. The match was over. That was last summer. I'm trying to get like a better picture of it. But yeah, I was talking to Yoshi after the match and talking to Ho after the match as well, trying to get some feedback and figure out was this okay? Was everything good? I think overall it was pretty solid.
Another name that that sticks out in this match, obviously you're teaming with Big Sam, which is no coincidence there. But Bitman, um, which is not normally one of your tag team partners. Um, New member of the stable? Question mark.
Nah. He it was like a special guest appearance with us.
Okay, loosely
Yeah, special guest
associated.
appearance. Yeah, associated and rival sometimes. I've teamed with him. Have I teamed with him before? I'm not sure, but I've definitely always wrestled against him. So it was a bit new for him to team up with me. I'm actually wrestling against him um, next month. But yeah, he was more just an associate for that match.
Okay. And then obviously the other name in that match, Zombie Dragon. Um, Popular opinion would say that um a while back ago you were friends and then you turned on him. No?
And I turned, never turned on. Are we breaking? Are we doing character in real life?
Hey, if you wanna kayfabe, you can kayfabe. If you don't, then you don't.
Okay. So I'm gonna keep it kayfabe. Now, minding my business. Uncle Muddy's minding his business, and then I got this zombie devil guy bothering me for no reason. So I got to handle my business with him. You know, I got to handle my business with the zombie. That's all I gotta say. I'm minding my business. He decides that he's want to pick a fight with me, and he messed with the wrong one.
Well, I mean, it did accumulate into a no holds barred match in Sinjin. No?
Yeah, it did. It did.
Can you tell us about that
And
match?
so that was one of my favorite matches. We had it in Shenzhen, and I was living in Shenzhen at the time. So I had a lot of my friends there. I was the heel, but my friends are there, so they cheering me on like I'm the face. And the match, it was my first time doing that type of match. We were just wrestling all over the arena. We was wrestling in like a theater. I know it was a bit different, but
Right.
we was wrestling in the stands, even like outside of the crowd, just all over the place. And we were chained up. It was a lot of fun. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. The match was great, and of course, working with him. He's a veteran in the game, and I've learned from him, and he's taught me a lot. So I enjoy working with him.
Well, you could correct me if I'm wrong or not, but you knew Zombie Dragon before he was a zombie and or dragon in the States.
Correct. He was actually my very first ever wrestling opponent.
Oh wow.
So we go way back back in Atlanta in 2016 when I debuted it. You know, he was my first opponent. He it was a favor to my wrestling manager Alex, who reached out to Zombie before he was Zombie to put me over in my very first match, and he did it, no hesitation, and it went well. And then we ended up crossing paths again when he messaged me about wrestling or China or whatever, and then I linked up him with Adrian, and then Adrian messaged me, and I gave Adrian the go. Like, no, Zombie's a great guy. He's amazing, And then next thing you know, I think like 5 months after I moved to China, he's in China. So it's kind of cool having someone from back home come down to China as well. You don't really get that a lot.
Right. And you mentioned obviously respected veteran of the business. And I almost never talk about post matches. But what did it kind of mean to you to have a guy like Zombie Dragon put you over in your first ever match?
It was a big deal for me. Because as a kid, I always dreamed of being a wrestler. But you know how some parents are; they don't support the unrealistic dreams and stuff like that. They want you to do the basic 401k 9-to-5 crap job or whatever.
Right.
And of course, my mom and I, we've talked about this several times, and she's apologized and everything. But it was special. I had my friends come through. It was like, wow, I lived my dream. And even my mother, she even said, I inspired her to follow my dreams. And then my dad, he lives in D.C., so he drove 10 hours down to watch me wrestle. Wow. And I didn't even know he was coming. That was the crazy part, because he told me good luck. He was like, I can't make it, obviously, but good luck, blah blah blah. And then during intermission, I'm walking and I see him. I'm like, what the, So I had and that was my first time my parents have been together since I graduated high school. So yeah, it was such an amazing night. I even made money off of some merchandise or whatever. So yeah, it was I would say a magical night. And the way he put me over, I'm thankful for it.
No, obviously, you competed in America prior to working in China. What are some of the differences you saw ring-wise between America and China? Maybe some things you had to adjust to.
So it's funny. I'm going to actually make a YouTube video comparing the two in the future. So I'll be honest. I was still a bit, I wouldn't say green, but I was still like a bit new in the business when I left America to go to China. But just from the comparisons, the talent in America is obviously much better, simply because America is established. Wrestling in China is still kind of a new thing.
Right.
We have great talent in China, you know what I'm saying? We have some great talent, but it's still a new thing in China, whereas America is more established. So, yeah, but one of the biggest differences between wrestling in China and wrestling in America, the schedule. In America, there's like 20 gazillion promotions. So as early as Thursday, there's weekend promotions all the time. It's always a wrestling event. In China, what people don't really know, people may look on social media and at one point people thought, we were on like live TV every week. That's not the case. There's not that many shows. And after COVID, it slowed down. 2018, 2019, it seemed we were really on a rise to like making things happen. Then when COVID hit, it put a stop to it. Last year, 2023, that was when we really got back on our wrestling stuff. 2022, there was I don't think I wrestled in 2022, but no, I wrestled like one time in 2022. But 2023, that's when we started to get back into wrestling. That's when things started to pick up. So yeah, there's just not that much wrestling here because there's not that many promotions here. But when we do have a promotion, we go all out. But I would say on average, we may have like 1 to 3 times a month, maybe.
Is that something you kind of prefer, having 1 or 2 shows a month rather than every weekend?
I would say one pro about that is you don't get burnt out. But if you're trying to really, really improve and get better, you're going to need those repetitions.
Right.
And that's one of the struggles. You need more matches. You need the repetitions if you're trying to get better. So it's just how it is in China. It's not in that growth stage yet. It's still in the infancy stage. COVID really kind of set it back. Because like I said, in 2018, 2019, we went to Nepal. So like we were really growing, and we were bringing in people, bringing in a bunch of people in. But yeah, it hindered it. But that's kind of the same in like other Asian countries, except Japan is a big wrestling country.
Oh yeah.
But other countries within Asia, it's not that much. Now Korea, on the other hand, and I've worked in Korea, I'm close with some people in Korea. They really are starting to get their like consistent wrestling shows. I see them all the time. But yeah, it's just here. It'll get there. It's just we're still trying to recover from COVID. That's the whole thing. COVID knocked us down, so we're still trying to recover from that.
And now you mentioned that working South Korea. Could you tell us, is there any differences working South Korea rather than China?
I would say it's a good question. So in Korea, the fans they understand it a little bit more. Now our fans in China, depending on where we're at, like I live in South China, so the fans in South China, they get wrestling, they understand it. Okay. In Korea, they understand wrestling as well. They understand it, and a lot of the fans can actually speak English. I would say it's kind of just same old. One of the differences though, it's a weird difference that I noticed. In Korea, they have the shows like kind of during the day. Whereas in China, we have it at night. The reason for that is because it's easier for people to get back home on the train. That's it. But I love wrestling in Korea. There's 3 promotions I believe in Korea, but there's 2 of them that are consistent working. Both promoters, they're good friends of mine. Unfortunately, they are not rocking with each other in real life. Like, it's a real life beef.
I got you.
But I'm close. Yeah, I'm close friends with both of them. I can't pick this. I stay out of it, but I'm close friends with both of them. I've wrestled for both their promotions. I absolutely love working there with both of them. I absolutely love it. And I was there last year, wrestled for both their promotions last year. So yeah, like I hope to go back soon. Which technically I can go back whenever I want, but I'm just busy, handling things right now.
I would imagine one of the differences wrestling in South Korea is wrestling in a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, so Chiho, he's the promoter for Pro Wrestling Society. He started this thing called the bar pub, where basically you have these like matches / brawls inside these venues. And one of the venues was this Mexican restaurant. It was pretty funny. But yeah, you just have it in there. He's like they're just brawl pubs, and yeah, that's what he does. Not just, like he done it in Mexican restaurants. He done it in other bars. He'll just have it in there. It's not like it's just more like kind of a show, kind of. He started doing that like some years ago. So yeah, it was very interesting. But he also has like real shows too. If like the ring and the entrance is set up, but that's one of his like things. Think of it like a backstage brawl in WWE.
Right. I mean, obviously, the next question is obvious. Did you eat the tacos, and how were they?
Oh, they were amazing. So I actually ate the tacos before. I don't remember, but I think the kitchen was closed after. Oh, I think it was. And I think I was not happy about that. But I did have tacos before. Tacos were amazing. Korea, I love their food. You know, they know how to make some. They know how to make some authentic Mexican food. It was cool. I had fun, but I couldn't get too drunk. I couldn't have too much fun because I had a match the next morning with AKW, All Korean Wrestling. So I couldn't I couldn't get too lit.
I believe that was against Brian Leo, right?
Correct.
Yeah, not a wise idea to wrestle that guy hungover. But hey, you mentioned food in Korea. What are you eating in Korea?
So in Korea, I'm one of those guys. I do eat Western food, even in China. I'm eating Western food, but when I'm in Korea, I do eat Korean food. Like one of the things I really like is Korean barbecue.
Oh yeah.
I love like Korean barbecue. It's so good. So I've had Korean barbecue in China, but it ain't Korean barbecue in Korea hits different.
I mean, I could definitely imagine.
It is different. Like there's some good Korean barbecue in China, but in Korea it is different. So.
And I mean, when you're going, you live in China, so I mean, when you're going out to eat, what are you eating?
In China, so like I'm eating Western food to be honest. Like now I do eat Chinese food. It's not my first choice, but I do eat it because there are some good dishes. Like one of my favorite Chinese foods, I love hot pot. I was at hot pot with some friends last week after we got done shooting some commercials. We went out to get some hot pot, and I love hot pot. But a lot of the times I'm just I'm eating like just clean stuff. Since after wrestling matches, I always eat like a bunch of BS. So I've been kind of just eating BS because I always do that. I always let myself go after a match. But normally I'm eating, chicken and rice and some beef, some eggs, just the typical meathead foods. And if I'm eating Chinese food, I'll get some like, it's called chow fan. It's like fried rice and beef or whatever, or I'll get like beef, rice, and potatoes, stuff like that. So yeah, just depending on where you live. Subway, we got Subway. I'll always get some Subway, stuff like that.
I mean, as long as you're not eating KFC, I think you're okay.
They got KFC here. If I'm like saying no to my diet, I will get some KFC. Like right now, I am saying no to my diet, but I got on a scale this morning, and I was like, yeah, let me get back on it now. But the gyms are about to be closed next week because of Chinese New Year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, I would not recommend KFC in China because a former guest of mine revealed that the chicken in KFC is actually pigeon.
I need to research that because I didn't know that. I've eaten KFC, a lot of times in China. Normally I get like the little chicken wrap, which is pretty good, but I didn't know it was pigeon meat. That's interesting. I need to figure that out.
Yeah, he took his time in Japan, in China, was spent eating McDonald's and Papa John's.
Yeah, it's crazy. Since moving to China, I've eaten more McDonald's than I ever had back home. Back home, I don't really touch McDonald's. Like, I always make the joke that McDonald's is the equivalent to smoking 10 packs of cigarettes. But but since moving to China, I've eaten more McDonald's. And it's just because sometimes, like, just say you're traveling or whatever, and it's nothing really proper to eat. McDonald's is like the only reliable thing. So like sometimes you just gotta say, F it, whatever.
Well, McDonald's is better quality in China than in America, from
Yeah.
what I hear.
Yeah, Really, most food overseas is better quality than America, if we're being honest. So yeah, but like the McDonald's in China, it's not. I like it.
Well, let's get into our next segment, Uncle Money's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are about to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
Yes, I'm trying to think. That is a good question. So in China, most of the time we don't have those road trips like in America because we're either the venues are close to us or majority of the time we're flying. I'm trying to think of a crazy trip where we flew. I can't think of the one on the top of my head. I'm trying to think because I know there's been some, especially like I can't think of. I'm really trying to think of one. I don't know. Some of the funniest, most memorable trips is traveling with Ash. Because he'll rant about something. So they'll like harass him at the airport, and he'll like to start ranting, and I like start recording him, and he'll like go harder on the rants. And it's always fun traveling with him. Okay, I got a funny one.
Right.
This is me making fun of Ash. That's what we do. It was me, Zombie Dragon, and Ash. We just had a show in Guangzhou. This is 2018, I think, and we were getting ready to head back to Shenzhen. Ash's shoes exploded. Like his shoes just broke, and we started making fun of him about his shoes exploding. And then I don't know. We traveled. We went back to Shenzhen, had Pizza Hut, and he got his food last, and we just started making fun of him about that. Like how me and Zombie Dragon got our food first, you got yours last. Then we all went back to my place to play Madden, and we both beat him in Madden. So it's just some of the funny stuff, just I can think on top of my head. Just traveling, and we always have fun.
Why did his shoes explode? What happened?
I got no clue. They just broke out of nowhere. Like the bottom of it just broke. Zombie Dragon, he'll tell you this story because he was over at my house last week. Actually, he was at my house last week because we went to Shenzhen together and we were talking about the shoes exploded. We were talking about that. So yeah, Ashley's gonna kill me for this. He hates when I bring this up.
All right. Now, can you tell us about the money lock? Because it's a Boston Crab, but you put your foot in between your legs.
Yeah. So I was supposed to do I wanted to do a sharpshooter, but I did it wrong. The Boston Crab, both your legs are outside of his legs.
Right.
The sharpshooter, you twist his legs and you put one foot in. But I did it wrong. So I just said, all right, this is my move now. So it was just an accident, but I just said, all right, this is my move.
Okay, so it was just a coincidence that turned into the actual gimmick.
Yeah, it was an accident, and I just said, all right, it's mine now.
All right, let's get into your acting career. You're currently on a TV drama.
Yeah, I finished the TV drama series. I shot one in mid to late December. Finished in January 2nd. No, January 1st. I finished it. Yeah, so I'm an actor in China. I do the mobile game ads. I do some TV dramas here and there. So yeah, I finished up the TV drama series on New Year's Day. We did 2 of them back to back.
Was it a series, a movie?
It was a series. So there's these things I didn't know people watch these actually. It's they have these drama series and they're all watched on a vertical screen. I don't know if you've seen these drama, romance, love stuff. They're all on a vertical screen.
Okay.
And they're shown on these different apps or whatever. And I found out a few friends actually say, yeah, I like these drama series, whatever. So I took part in a couple of them. In China, we've been doing the mobile game ads for the longest, but now the TV drama series are now starting to get more popular, and they're starting to pick up. Personally, I like the TV drama series a lot more than the game ads, 100%. So I'm hoping, this was the one I did was the first one where I had a lot of speaking roles. I mean, I've done the game ads, I'm always speaking, but the TV drama series, I had a lot more speaking roles. And it was hard to, get myself in there because these agents would ignore me. But now they see, hey, I'm better than 98% of these guys y'all hire. That is a fact. So, yeah, it should be out maybe, I don't know, in the next couple of months or so. Hopefully it's out in the next couple of months.
How has acting helped your pro wrestling, and vice versa? How has wrestling helped your acting?
So I would say acting has helped my pro wrestling because pro wrestling is acting.
Right.
And and like the thing with today, a lot of these guys, okay, they can do 5,700 moves, but like, where's your character, your emotion? And I feel like that's where I can come in because I know how to act, I know how to play characters, I know how to speak, I know how to work the camera, I know how to talk. I can memorize things like scripts and music. I can memorize that easily. Everything else, I can't remember nothing. So that's helped me with my wrestling. I would say my wrestling has helped me by acting. When I have to do physical scenes or whatever, I know how to do those scenes because I do them in wrestling all the time, and I can do these things that other people can't. So I would say they both intertwine, and they both help out.
No, and you mentioned it. You have done many mobile game commercials. Can you tell us about those ads that you have done? Because there's quite a lot of them.
Yeah, I've done like thousands. I know they're cringy. I'm very aware of how cringe they are. Yeah. So basically, at the time, I was still working a teaching job, and this agent messaged me and was like, hey, can you come and do this acting for these video games? I was like, okay. It was like, like, what is it? I didn't know nothing about mobile game ads, and she's like, oh, you just play a role of a father or whatever. So I sent her my stuff, and she wanted me to come on like a Tuesday, but I was still working my job, my teaching job. And I said no because I couldn't take off, but I was like, all right, forget it. So I took off from work. I just said, oh, I'm sick. And I texted him at 1 a.m. Oh, I'm sick. Best decision of my life. And then I went and did the ads. I didn't know what to expect. I just did it. And then next thing you know, they called me back and say, can you come and do these more? So I didn't think this would land as my career. I thought this would be like a one-time thing or like every now and then. And one of the things that surprised me the most was I didn't know these things would get shown everywhere because I started having people message me saying, is that you? Is that you? And I was like, whoa, I didn't know people. There was at one point where like my friends would see me every week on these ads. And I did not know that this is what I would be doing for work. I love it, what I do. And two, I didn't know that many people would be seeing this because I would be posting, I'm an actor. Nobody on social media pays attention to me at all. No one knows I'm an actor, even though I post more acting than I do wrestling, I think. No one knows that. But then when people saw the ads and then people see the other stuff, then they realize, oh, okay, he's actually an actor. So yeah, but the mobile game ads, basically is they make it ridiculously cringe or overtly sexual just for the attention. We always joke and say like, who the hell is like buying these games? And two, if you're buying them, thank you because you're keeping us employed. But yeah, they're overly, they're cringe, over the top. But we have fun on set. Like I'm close friends with all these people. We're good friends with everybody, and we have fun with it, and we have a lot of fun. I enjoy what I do.
Is there one, because you've done so many of them, is there one that is your favorite that you've done, or just was there a memorable one, whether it was, filming it or, the actual commercial itself?
So I had two that are memorable. One was the first ad that people saw. It was basically I was on the table and I was bragging about all the characters I have, and then the girl came through and said, "I'm better than you," and blah blah blah. That was, I would say, because that was the very first one that I saw, but everyone saw, and plus it looked legitimate. It didn't look cringy or stupid. It looked legitimate. Now, my favorite one, I would probably say there was a scene. This is really ridiculous. So there was a scene where the girl and the guy were about to get married. They were finna kiss, and I broke into the wedding, and I said, "Wait!" And then I say, "Tina, what's going on here? Who the hell is he?" And in my hand is a white baby, and I'm telling the girl, "Don't leave me, because this baby is our son." And clearly, this is a white baby. Clearly, it's not my son. And that was kind of the butt of the joke. So a lot of the early ads that I was doing, it always started with the character Tina cheating on Gary because Gary doesn't have enough mobile power, and Gary tries to win her back with proving he has more mobile power. It's so ridiculous. I know, and that's kind of how. And then they started moving it very sexual. Like, I don't know, like they started having the girls with fake boobs. They started simulating porn scenes. Like, there's one scene where, like, I'm in the bed with like 5 girls and they're like pregnant, and their husbands break in because I'm sleeping with all of them. They get over the top. A lot of it overly sexual or overly cringe, but that's what keeps people's audiences on the ads. And one of the things that caught me off guard, there are 2 groups online. There's a Facebook group and there's a Reddit group. And these 2 groups are dedicated to sharing our mobile game ads. They like share it and they kind of just make fun of it or whatever. One day I decided to reveal my identity in the group. I was like, all right. So I went in the groups and I was like, "Hey guys, I'm the black guy from the commercials, blah, blah." For 2 weeks straight, I was answering questions. People were like fascinated. So yeah, people are really heavily invested into these mobile games. So these ads. So yeah, that's the ads.
I mean, that's really crazy. That's awesome that, there's actually groups of people that, are like, it's like a cultist fandom of these commercials.
Yeah.
And it's awesome that, you actually took time to respond to these fans.
Yeah. It was 2 weeks worth to answer it, but it was because I was going through a rough period. I'm not going to go into too much details, but at that time, there was a little blacklist from me because they wanted me to do some scenes that I like refused to do, and but that's like a little topic off camera. But it's like it was kind of like therapy for me, like to know that, hey, these people are fans of me. These people, appreciate me, and I didn't even realize how much love I have from these people. It's true that strangers support you more than your friends and family.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
Yeah.
Now, keeping on the topic of, acting, you were in a stage play, which
Yes.
is acting, but its own entire animal, to say the least. So what was
Right.
that experience like?
So that experience was great. So I got it. We started the stage play. This goes way back, 2015. I auditioned and I got the role. And every Sunday, every Wednesday, we'd have rehearsals. And I played like an angry character. Basically, it was the story was called Return Adam. It was about a guy who got his girl pregnant, and he's struggling and he's trying to get his life together, but he's facing trauma because his father left him or whatever. And my character, I was a ghost, meaning like I was the ghost of I was a ghost that came to him to say, I'm the guy that's angry and blah, blah, blah. That's who you are. So each ghost represented a personality of himself. So the experience was so much fun. And then we did 3 days of the play. And, because I'm used to the wrestling with the performance, so it wasn't nothing for me to do, but it was a great experience, doing stage plays. And the thing about stage play, you can't mess up on it. It's all one take. Right. So if you screw up, which none of us did, but it was amazing. I would love to do another stage play again. And as a matter of fact, the main character for the stage play, him and I talk every day because we have our sports podcast. So we managed to still stay in close contact. So like when I plugged in my sports podcast, The Rundown, that's with him. So
okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to podcast. Obviously, you have played video games on your podcast. And you've mentioned video games. So what are you playing and what's your favorite?
So right now, I'm waiting for the Rise of the Ronin. That comes out March 22nd.
Okay.
Suicide Squad game. That game. I don't know if you saw the reviews, but that game the reviews are bad. I looked at the gameplay. The gameplay looks like it's terrible. I was hoping that game does well, but it's not. So really, right now, I'll just play Madden or 2K. That's kind of what I'm just playing right now. Already beat Spider-Man. I'm just playing that right now until Rise of the Ronin comes out in March. So that's what I'm playing. Madden 2K.
Okay. And can you tell us about your new podcast, the Functions podcast?
Yeah, so the Functions podcast. So my friend and I, we recorded a song together called "Love the Way." The song will actually be released February 3rd, which is tomorrow my time. It'll be released February 3rd, and we have a music video for it as well. The music video would be released like next week or something. The song is good. Music video is good. We got beautiful women in the video. It's gonna be good. So we did a song together. He's a sound engineer, mixer, producer, a singer. He's all of that. And he has a bunch of equipment, expensive cameras, lighting. He got everything, microphone. So I just said, hey, why don't we just do a podcast? Because he got all this equipment, and it's like, we need to get to work. So we decided to do the podcast. And Functions, that's going to be the name of his clothing line and potential record label that we may start. Because we thinking about doing a record label as well. So he has that. And we set up our podcast, and we had to refilm it because originally the podcast, we were going to talk about China, our life in China. So I was telling the story of how I simped over a girl. It's funny because I have a song called Simp where I make fun of simps. And I was telling the story, hey, I used to be a simp. I was simping over a girl. Then he started going on a rant tangent about Chinese girls and this and that. And his wife was like, no, we cannot do this, because it seemed like very anti-China. And you know how China is. If you say anything negative, So I'm just like, ain't nobody finna watch us, man. Ain't nobody pay attention to me. But she was like, no, we can't. So we had to restart it. So we just said, we're not going to talk about anything China related. Because originally I just wanted to talk about our life in China. He's Armenian, I'm American. We have different experience. That's what I wanted to talk about, just our life in China. I have a right to say, hey, I don't like this about China. I have a right to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not all, hey, I'm going to kiss their butt. No, if there's something, I have a right to speak about my experiences. But they're just so adamant about that. The thing is, I know what to say and what not to say. He just goes off on everything. He just goes off. Like he really went on a full rant. So we just switched it. Now we just talk about just BS. The first episode, we was just kind of joking around, talking about BS. Then the second episode, we got into a little heated debate, which caught both of us off guard. But we were like, let's do more debates now. So yeah, that's just the thing. We just start just the BS around. He has this, and then we're going to bring guests in too. But he has all this equipment and everything, and we have a big network in China with other foreigners. So it's like, why not? We need to. Plus, it's a way to promote our music. I think it's a good way to promote our music as well.
Guest-wise, who are you bringing on? Who do you have your eyes on?
So we have our eyes basically on a lot of the foreigners in China, like a lot of the actors, models. Will probably most likely be some of the guests that will be on, and of course, I'm gonna bring some of the wrestlers on as well, and maybe some of the teachers. But that's kind of our thing, really, like the actors and models and just any foreigner in China, really, just who's in our network, who's in our area. We'll just bring them on and get their story and get what they do, and and then after that, we'll take them out to eat as a thank you for coming. That's kind of like our thing, really, just kind of get everyone's story, get everyone to promote whatever they got going on. Like this is kind of like our thing to promote what we got going on. So this is a way to promote what they got going on, and just kind of get ourselves out there.
Okay. Now, keeping on promoting, you have a book out, I believe, too. Surviving China. Can you tell us about that?
So in 2020, I just decided I'm gonna just write a book. I decided I was gonna write a book, and then this was right before COVID happened, January 2020. I was like, I'm gonna write a book. Nobody believed me, of course. Nobody believed in me. But then I actually started to just make it happen. I wrote the book, lost my USB. I don't know what happened to it, so I had to restart all over again. And then when COVID, I was back home at the time of COVID. So when COVID was happening, I was home. They gave me more time to just sit and focus on my book. And funny how I finished the book. I was supposed to meet up with this girl, but she flaked on me because that's what she does. So instead of getting mad, I said, I'm gonna finish my book, and then boom, I just made it because I figured, hey, I've been in China for about 4 years, at like 3.5, 4 years at the time. So I decided, hey, I got a little bit of knowledge on things here, so I'm gonna just write it, and I thought this is another way to make passive income or whatever. Now, if I go back and write it today, I know I will have more knowledge because I've been here a lot longer, but it was a way to make some passive income or whatever. I just wanted to make passive income and kind of just share facts about China. And I almost wrote a second book. Well, I did write a second book, but I never released it. It's called Surviving COVID. And I was telling a story about what really happened during COVID, but it's not released, and I won't release it because I'm still here in China. Because if you knew some of the stuff we dealt with, it was crazy, the things we dealt with.
I could say I could imagine, but I probably couldn't imagine.
It was wild. It was wild.
So I do a lot of research, and I go really far into the rabbit hole, and sometimes I might read into things a little too much. Anime fan?
Say it again?
Anime fan?
Animation?
Anime.
Oh, anime. Do I watch anime?
Are you a fan of anime? Yes.
Oh, so I'm not that big on the anime. My favorite anime is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite anime. Don't kill me. I wasn't that big into Dragon Ball Z. A lot of people, my dad is into it. Everyone I know is into it. but I was never that big into Dragon Ball Z like that. Now I know the characters, I know the story, but I don't know. I just never got big into it. I wish I did though. But Yu Yu Hakusho, that was my number one. Yu-Gi-Oh, like I loved Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, I took Yu-Gi-Oh like Yu-Gi-Oh was like life or death for me. I mean, I made a dual disc before the dual disc even came out.
Oh wow!
I took a cardboard box and I took my dual mat and I glued it on a cardboard box, and I took some tape and some shoestring, put it on my wrist, and boom, I made the dual disc before it was available in stores. I made a Millennium Puzzle. Like I went hard with Yu-Gi-Oh back then. Like I got creative, took a cardboard, cut it into a triangle, put some chain on it. Hey, I got a Millennium Puzzle. Like I went hard with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I used to go to the Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments at Toys R Us. Yu-Gi-Oh would come on Saturday mornings. When I went to the Toys R Us to the Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, I would tape record the episode of Yu-Gi-Oh so I wouldn't miss it. Like I went hard with Yu-Gi-Oh. Pokemon, every kid like Pokemon. That's like our religion. Pokemon back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Beyblades. I used to rock with Beyblades a little bit for a while. Beyblades was cool. Digimon, I never got really that into it. I like the theme song, but I didn't rock with Digimon like that. But I would say, like Yu-Gi-Oh is anime, right? I just want to confirm that.
Yeah, it's
okay.
anime.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say Yu-Gi-Oh is probably like the Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and Yu Yu Hakusho. I used to go hard with them.
Right, because I asked because Attack on Titan was a part of one of your music videos.
Which music video?
I'm not entirely sure which one, but I did see Attack on Titan. So maybe you have read.
Okay. Okay, check it. But I have Yu-Gi-Oh cards in my house actually. I bought them just to, and I don't remember the rules actually. But yeah, I used to go hard on that.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm still a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, honestly.
Yeah. Now, funny thing, my mom she hated Yu-Gi-Oh. She hated because she said it was demonic.
Yeah.
Like she hated it. It is demonic though. She was right. I watched it as an adult. I'm like, whoa, why is he stealing his soul? And he has to win a card game to get the soul back. I was like, whoa, this is pretty intense. This is supposed to be for kids. They stealing each other's souls and stuff. Whoa.
Oh yeah.
So she hated that. She was like, this is demonic. You would not do this. You would not bring this in the church. You don't go to hell if you. But I didn't care. Like, no, I like Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty dark. I was like, wow, this is for kids. This is for kids. But I mean, I used to go hard with Yu-Gi-Oh. Though. I wouldn't miss an episode.
No, you're absolutely right. Like back in the day, you're like, oh no, it's fine, whatever. And then you watch it when you're older, and it's like, yeah, this is pretty messed up.
It's pretty bad. It's just like the first episode, Pegasus steals Yugi's grandfather's soul, and the only way to get the soul back is from a card game.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
There's literally like a couple minute YouTube video where they parody that, and it's hilarious.
I gotta check that out. I'm definitely checking that out. That'd be funny. A parody of that. I didn't even know they had a parody of that. I'm definitely checking that out.
It's really.
Did you ever used to sell? Did you ever used to sell Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
I have a lot of them. I didn't sell them. Actually, no. I did sell them at one point. But I still do have a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. My personal favorites were the Egyptian gods.
Yeah. I know some dudes that used to sell them for like $200 a card.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, funny story. So I was with my friends. We was at some shopping market in Guangzhou, and it was like a bunch of anime stuff. and we saw some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I was like, wow, these cards probably expensive. And then my friend, he's from Turkey. He looked at the card. He was like, oh, this must be 3,000 RMB. I said, no, that's the attack points. 3,000 is his attack points. And like me and my other friend just bust out laughing because he saw the attack points. You got the attack and defense points.
Right.
So he thought 3,000 was the price. Like, no, that's not the cost. That's the attack points.
Depending on what card it was, it might have been a lot more than 3,000.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
All right. Let's get into your rapping career as well. You recently just released a song named "Simp," as you mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if you know this song by Too Short. It's called "Just Call Her a B," and it's a very degrading song. I know, misogynistic. I don't know. It's a funny song though. So the song goes like, "What's up? Shut the F up, B. You ain't, And he says the B word like 200 times, whatever. So I was looking to make a new song. I was looking to make a new song, and this song came up when I was in the gym, and I was like, "That's it. I want to make a song, but instead of the B word, simps." So I hit my friend up because he told me last week he's doing discount on some beats. So so I hit him up. I said, "Hey, is that discount still happening?" He was like, "It's expired, but I do it for you." It's like, "All right, I want you to make a beat similar to this. I'm gonna make it called Simps." So he made the beat, and after I got the beat, I wrote the lyrics, and then I went to my friend's studio and I recorded it. And it was more like a comedy song, kind of. I'm talking trash or whatever. And then it's basically like I'm telling guys, quit simp. It's a comedy song, but it's also kind of like a real message. Like, hey, look, stop simping over these girls on Instagram. Stop paying for OnlyFans. Stop worshiping girls that don't like you. Stop giving too much attention to women that don't appreciate you, that don't value you. Stop that. Have some self-respect. That's really what the song is about, just in comedy form. And talking trash about girls on OnlyFans, like, yeah, you sell your private parts on OnlyFans, you sell your feet, you aren't worth anything. So, all the women loved the song, actually. All my female friends, they thought it was funny. They loved it, except one person. And that person is my mother. Oh, she was not happy. So I got two stories about this song. So this story right here. So I performed the song. So my friend, Woofy Woo, that's her stage name. Her name is Mary. Woofy Woo's her stage name. She released her music video, and her and I have a song together. And before we performed our song together, I performed my song at her event. And that was the first time anyone heard the song. So my mom saw it on Facebook, and she commented, "Trey, the disrespect towards women and da-da-da." So I sent my mom a video. I was actually on the set shooting my music video. So I had three girls in the music video. So I sent her a video. I said, "Mom, look at these beautiful women. They like the song." They're like, "Yes, we love the song. We love the song." I sent it to my mom, the troller. And then Woofy Woo, Mary, she sent the video to me saying, "Miss Sheila, I love the song." So I sent it to my mom to let her know, hey, women like the song. But my mom sent me a message, text me. She said, "Trey, I appreciate you living your dreams, but this is just disrespectful to women and, blah, 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 I raised you better than her." And I just explained to mom what the song was about. I said, I'm actually talking about men. I'm making fun of men. That's really what the song is, And I just explained it to her, and she was like, "Okay, I understand now. I just don't like the cursing." I was like, "I know, but So then that's the second time that song's got me in trouble. The first time the song got me in trouble was in 2020. I was home during COVID in 2020, so I was teaching boxing at this gym called Tap Out Fitness. I had a group class there, and I was controlling the music, and the song I had played was "Just Call Her a B." So I had that song played there, and was playing, song, what's up, B, use a B, M, F, B, F, and it was in the background. After the class, the manager comes up to me and says, hey, somebody was complaining about the song, you can't play that, I was like, all right, I'll put in some cleaner music. So the next day, I changed my playlist to cleaner music, like come on, ride the train, yeah, ride it, and this is how we do, clean stuff, no curse words, and I'll put my hand up on your hip, nothing, no cursing, stuff like that. Then the very next song, all you ladies pop yo like this, shake your body, don't stop. And then as soon as that song comes on, guess who comes in? That same lady. Oh, I got in trouble. I was like, out of all the times, made sure the Pandora playlist was supposed to be clean. And then that song came up, and then she comes in. So I couldn't control the music no more. So that's how I got in trouble with that song. My song Simp, it was a song I, wrote for fun. And my other song, Love the Way, that'll be out February 3rd. That's more like a heartbreak, romantic kind of song or whatever. We want to do something like slow, kind of for more of the general audience. I think most of the people really love it. It's a really good song. His vocals are really good. His mixing and mastering is really good. My lyrics are good. Very relatable to a lot of men. And then the music video, we have a lot of eye candy in the music video. The scenery in the music video, it's going to be amazing.
All right. It sounds like Simp gave you some issues there. I believe there was one more issue where you got copyrighted for your own song.
Yeah, Instagram does that. Because the algorithm, the system, they don't know that this is my song. They just know, hey, this is copyright, because I put the music, DistroKid. Do you know DistroKid?
I believe so.
Yeah. For those that don't know, DistroKid is a distribution website where you put your music and it puts it on all platforms. So Simp is a song. It's a real song now on all platforms. It belongs to Uncle Money, but Instagram, they don't know that I'm Uncle Money, that this is my song. So when they see a song, they just know, hey, this music doesn't belong to you. So I have to constantly appeal it to let them know I own the rights to this song. They've done this with Pay Uncle Money song, with my other song. They've done it. So I just have to appeal. It gets annoying. I'm like, this is my song. So they're going to, when I upload my new song in a few days, Love the Way, they're going to do the same thing, and I have to appeal it. So it's just what it is. But you just appeal it, and then you go on about it. But
I got you. Well, I think that brings us to the colossal question. Let's say they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
my movie soundtrack. Do my songs count?
Your songs count.
Okay. Okay, so I would say Pay Uncle Money, because that is me.
Right.
I'm trying to think. There's some R&B songs. Really, most of my stuff is some R&B songs. Shoot. I'm trying to think. It's some. Maybe I'm trying to think. Maybe a Neo song. I'm trying to think, because I listen to a lot of R&B.
Would you like us to come back to it to give you some time?
Yeah, because I have so many. I'm trying to get it. Okay, Pay Uncle Money. I have to sit and think. There's so many. I can't get it at the top of my head.
Let's get to the second part of the colossal question. While you think.
Okay.
Once we get the soundtrack down, then we get the script down, and then we go to casting. Who plays Uncle Money? And you can't say yourself, because you are legally obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Okay. So who would play Uncle Money? That is a good question. If I had a son, he's playing Uncle Money. I'm gonna shave his head. So like current act. Okay, I'm trying to think of an actor who would play Uncle Money.
Anybody you
You know
want.
what?
CGI is a thing. We could bring people back from the dead if we have to.
Okay, if I can play someone that will play Uncle Money, I got a friend in Shenzhen named Dejan. He's bald and he's big. He does a little bit of acting. He light skinned like me. I would get him to play Uncle Money because truth be told, sometimes people mix us up.
Okay.
He'll text me and say, "Why do these people think I'm you?" So I would get him to play me. He's real strong too. He does like strongman competition. So I would definitely get him to play me for sure.
Okay. And every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people in your movie that's significant to you and your story, and who would play them?
Okay, so I would say one, 3 guys back home for sure. My best friend Raymond, he'd definitely play that part. One of my good friends, Bill Banks, he's the one that got me into acting. And my good friend / wrestling manager, Alex, the guy that got me into wrestling. So I would say those 3 would, play part of my story.
Okay. Now, do we have a soundtrack?
Okay, so Pay Uncle Money. Next song I would say by Big Sean, I Don't F With You. And then I would say Love the Way, Love the Way, which is my new song because that's, like I said, it's a heartbreak song. Even though it's like I'm not in my feelings in real life, it's a real story about a lot of people. So yeah, I would say those 3. Pay Uncle Money, Big Sean, I Don't F With You, and Love the Way by Uncle Money and the Yan.
All right. Solid playlist, solid casting. Sounds like a great movie, and you could pre-order the tickets now.
You can pre-order. It'll be available soon.
On to a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, sir. No.
So very anti.
Oh yeah, super anti. Oh no. No. That's a hard no.
All right. What's your spirit Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon?
Your spirit Pokemon. The one you
identify. Oh, my spirit.
The most.
My favorite is Pikachu, but the spirit I don't even know. It's been a while since I understand their characters, but if you had to say my favorite, I would say Pikachu. Like Pikachu's adorable.
All right, I'll accept Pikachu.
And loyal.
And since you are a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, what's your spirit Yu-Gi-Oh card?
I would say the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Oh yeah. Now, we love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Thug? THUG.
Shoot, I do. Now I know the acronym that Tupac gave for Thug Life. The hate you give little infants F's everybody. I know that part, but like the acronym for Thug, I don't know. I just know the Tupac acronym.
T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail, because a Doug can't spell. Yes.
Nice.
We love
Okay.
the late great Tracy Smothers, trying to keep the memory alive on the show.
Right.
Alright.
Right.
Weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview. Hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical Rock.
Well, if I can squash it, yeah. But if I have to put on a full match, no, because I don't want people to say, "Hey, Uncle Money got beat by an inanimate object." So, but if I had to squash the Rock, yeah, that's easy.
Well, just for context, there's this wrestler named Psycho Mike that wrestled in actual Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
I heard about. I don't know if it was him or I heard about somebody wrestling like an object, and the match actually was good. That's what I think I saw that on YouTube or heard about it or something.
If it's inanimate objects, then it's probably Psycho Mike.
He has that niche. I'll keep him on that niche. That's his niche. I don't think I'm that good to make it look good. I think it takes a special. You have to be really skilled and it has to be like a really high level to actually make something like that look good. And I'm sure he makes it look really good. You have to be like, that's another level of skill. I'm not there yet.
All right. On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself with more serious acting roles. I'm only getting started. Well, not getting started. I've been started, but I'm just starting to get noticed now. I've been acting for 10 years now, but I'm really starting to get like fully noticed. So, in 5 years, I see myself with serious roles, and I see myself with one of my YouTube channels exploding. I see myself. Music is being well known. I see myself in that.
All right. And what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what Uncle Money is all about?
So there are 3 memorable matches that I have. One match is the Devil's Rules match between Uncle Money and Zombie Dragon.
Okay.
The other match is the 6-man tag match that we had in 2018. The Stable versus Hongwan, Bitman, and another guy, I can't remember his name. That was a 6-man. It was one of my favorites. It was a very fun match, nice crowd. I had fun after the match. It was really good. And another match that's memorable, the 8-man tag match in Shenzhen in 2019 with the Stable, me and Sam, the Japanese Illuminati. Who would he face against? Against Junjie. I think Bitman was in it. No. Wait a minute. It was me. No. Was Sam in that? Yeah, it was me, Sam. One of the members of the Japanese Illuminati. It was Crystal. She's a Filipino wrestler.
Yes.
Yeah, she was in that. I gotta look back. It was the 8-man tag match. That's actually Adrian's favorite match. So I'm proud to know I'm in one of Adrian's favorite matches. But yeah, just I gotta look it up. It was Junjie. I think Bitman was in it. You know my history more than I do. You probably know which one I'm talking about. Yeah, it was that match. That match was fun. It was good. And it was Adrian's favorite match.
It was in 2019, you said.
2019 December, yeah.
December. Let's see. December. Okay, it was Crystal, Fujiwara, the the stable, Big Sam,
Yeah,
Uncle Money, versus
yeah,
ASUKA, Bitman, Guts, and Wang.
yeah. That match, and that was an incredible. I loved it. It was everything went right. It was a good match. I had a lot of fun.
Can we find these matches on YouTube?
So Adrian took a lot of them on YouTube down because they're moved to the streaming network called let me check it. I have it on my phone. It's called yeah.
Premiere,
So he took a lot of this.
yeah.
Yeah. So he took a lot of it down. So it's on there. It's on Premiere.
Okay, and is that like subscription based, or can you just get on there?
Subscription based.
Okay.
Subscription based. Yeah.
Well, if any of them are still on YouTube, I will find them and I will put a link to them in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox.
Right. The six man should be on YouTube because that's not an MKW show.
Okay.
So that should be on YouTube.
Then I will look for that match. And I will put it in the link. I will put a link to the match in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox for anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to see it, wants to re-see it after this interview.
Right.
And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of the week.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is our speed round or bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
Let's get it.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
The Rock.
Worst wrestler.
Nobody.
So you are taking the default answer.
Yes.
You have chosen Eva Marie.
Okay, Eva Marie. Okay, there we go. That's a good one.
You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
The Rock.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
Past or present. I would say no. John Cena.
Which one?
The time is now.
Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is
dead in most places in the world.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast. Squash, vegetable or fruit?
Vegetables.
It is indeed a fruit.
Oh, dang.
I
don't know how I graduated college. I have no idea how I graduated.
It's tomato logic. It has seeds.
Okay.
New Japan wrestler Tai Chi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
Repeat that again?
What is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
The appropriate trunks? You mean like the length?
How much ass cheek should show?
If you're a girl, pretty much all of it should show. Don't cancel me. If you're a guy, cover it.
Full coverage.
Yeah, full coverage.
All right. And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
About Darby Allin?
Darby Allin.
Oh, no.
And that is the correct answer. And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Once again, where can we find things all Uncle Money on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at _Uncle Money. You can find me on YouTube. My podcast is called Generations Unveiled Family Chronicles, where I interview members of my family. You can check that out. And you can check me on my other podcast called Functions Podcast, a podcast where my friend and I just talk a bunch of BS or whatever, both as expats living in China. And you can check my other podcast / YouTube channel called The Rundown. For those that may be familiar with Nightcap, Unk and Ocho, that's kind of how ours is. We pretty much talk about sports. We talk about sports like football, basketball, boxing, as well as just things about my life in China, things about his life as a single father, stuff like that. And and also I got some music out. My song Simp, available on Spotify, Apple Music, all platforms. Check that out. And I have another song releasing February 3rd called Love the Way. But by the time this podcast gets released, the song will be out already. So Love the Way, it'll be available on all platforms. So check that out. And that is all I have. Oh, and last one, my other YouTube channel, Black Beyond Borders. It's about my life as an American expat living in China. I do have wrestling in there because wrestling is a part of my life in China. So I do have wrestling stuff in there. So you can see some behind the scenes stuff like that. So check that out.
And you don't have to go looking for it or type it into your Google machines. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube at Castbox. Simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Give him a damn follow.
You follow, man. Come on.
And if you see him in person, buy a damn shirt. Alright, of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Low Energy and Pale One Coffee. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews. Follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Thread, and Instagram. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. And of course, at Wrestling with E, you can find information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Alright, when I say wrestling with, you say entertainment, okay? For our very special guest, Uncle Money, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.